Stop the cap.
People like yourself, they come in and try to colonize territory that don't belong to them.
All right, so let me know in the comment section down below on how do y'all feel about Zion. And now my problem is with Power, they always bring in like these interesting characters and then eventually like they kill them off. Now I understand you have to progress the story, no problem on progressing the story, but you can't be bringing in like these characters that's like interesting and then eventually like you kill them off and then that's it. Because you gotta look at like Ronnie from like Raising Kanan, right? He's a perfect example. You bring in a character like that, and I'm like, all right, like at the end, when Unique came back, but at the time, like before when he came back, we didn't think the man was. We thought he was dead. We thought like, okay, Ronnie came in there and he took out Unique, and then that's it. We're like, oh, all right. And the thing is with Ronnie, like he was sort of different. I mean, the same principles is he came out of prison. He found out his brother messed up his operation that he left him, and then he's like, okay, now I'm gonna take back over the streets, and then I'm gonna make things different because you messed up. So I'm like, all right, this is good. This is really interesting. And then you just kill him off, and it's like, okay, he has little backstory. I was sort of interested in what he was gonna possibly do. Now I understand the actor. There's a show he's gonna be on that's gonna, I guess, debut, I think, in October or November, right? So I'm guessing maybe because the actor is in a different show, they probably couldn't explore on the Ronnie story. Now, again, it's just like if they known this in advance, or if they didn't know this in advance, then I would have maybe held off for like maybe debuting Ronnie until like maybe the 5th season. Like in my opinion, I think they should have probably held off bringing him in, and then maybe they could have done something there. But it's just like you have characters like that, you bring them in and then you kill them off, and it's like, oh, come on now, like you can't be doing this. You can't just bring in like these interesting characters and then they get killed off. Because another candidate is Mecha. Mecha had like an aura about him. He had that aura about him, and granted, he was working with Lobos. Now again, he was the goat of global snitching, but he was under Lobos, and he knew stuff. He knew about Ghost, he knew about Tommy, and he knew about these things, right? And it's just like he had that something about him, and then he gets killed off by Monet in season 2, and it's just like, ah, my God, like there's characters like that they have something about them, and they just kill them off. And you look at Noma, and here's the thing about Noma. It's like, let me know in the comment section down below as well. Like, do y'all believe that Noma has aura? Do you think that she has that something about her that makes her like a threat? Now, granted, when she showed up in season 3 with her private army, yes, I would say immediately, because it's like, okay, who is this woman? She's coming in there. She's bringing like everybody in here. She's trying to figure out like what happened to Mecha. Like, I'm like, okay, there's something about her. But then as we seeing currently and more to her story, it's like you see less and less, and you like less and less about her, and you get less aura from her, and you just see her as just like a regular threat, not like somebody that's like, oh, that's like really dangerous, like a Milan, like a Jason, like a Kanan, like a threat, a legitimate threat. Like you, like, yo, he's going to kill you. Like you can sense it. I would compare Noma's aura to Ray Ray.
What did he say?
To be honest, I would, because Ray Ray didn't have any aura either. He was just a regular guy. It was a cop, and I mean, yeah, he killed Raina, which was like a big thing. But he was just a regular guy. He was regular. Like, and I feel like with Noma, she's starting to be that way, because the thing is, Kane could have killed her anytime. He could have just killed her at any point in time where it's just like, okay, just end all of this. She's no longer a threat. Just end all of this. But the thing is, it's like everybody likes to make money, and Kane is trying to learn her business, and he's trying to learn the operations, you would assume, right? But it's just like you don't really get that sense from her. At least I don't. And with Zion, he comes in, and I'm like, okay, he knows about Ghost and Tommy. He knows about the old times. he knows about things, and I'm like, okay, is he a brother to somebody? Is he a son to somebody? Like, who really is Zion? But the thing is which is gonna suck the most is when he actually dies, because in the trailer we see him going after, I guess maybe Kane. Like, it seems like there's gonna be the war between, I guess, Zion versus maybe Kane and Noma, right? Like the battle for New York, like who's gonna really take over New York. That's what we're seeing from this, and I'm like, okay, sure, but it's gonna suck bad because you're gonna bring in like this character who knows about the old times, and then he just dies. Now, granted, he probably might die either by the hands of Tariq, Kane, or Noma. It's gonna probably be maybe like one of those three that probably is most likely gonna like take him out, but it's gonna be kind of suckish because little backstory to none backstory about the guy and who he really is and who's he maybe affiliated with. How did he get started? Like all of this, I'm saying, like, yeah, we know about the whole Davis getting him off a Rico charges, fine, right? But again, more to the guy. Now, I'm thinking what they probably might do, I think they're gonna probably like answer maybe half of people's like questions. Is gonna probably be maybe like Power Origins when they bring in, I guess, like a young Ghost and Tommy, and then Kanan and Breeze that's gonna be there as well, and then maybe we get like, I don't know, maybe Roller's father, maybe Zion, like maybe more to the story. Like, but again, it's gonna suck because it's like you bring in like these interesting figures and then they just die, because this is why people like the original Power so much more, because the original Power is like with these old characters we always gravitate to, and we like, oh yeah, like we like this guy, we like Ghost, we like Kanan, we like Tommy, we like all of these characters. But then when they bring in like new characters, we like, okay, we try to give like these newer characters a chance to see if they're gonna like pull us or have like this aura about them. But then when we sort of start to like the character, they end up dead. It's like, oh my god, like I get it, but it kind of sucks in a way because you want these characters to like progress maybe a little bit further, right? Because I know the story of what they try to tell us about either dead or in prison. That's like the only two options that you get. Okay, that's fine. And I'm wondering, like, if Tariq if he's able to make it out, like, will he maybe be the first to make it out? And that's like a third option or whatever to like maybe fight your way through, and then you have everything. Maybe same way with Tommy, because Tommy is another character that may or may not survive. He may live, he may die. Who knows, right? But again, it's just like all these characters that they bring in, and eventually like they just go bye and then that's it. And it's like, oh my god, because again, when you look at Kanan, Kanan was a threat. He was like a legitimate threat, again, holding people's babies and shooting sons and strangling grandmothers, right? Like this man was a menace, a complete menace. And we like, okay, now I felt like his story ran its course because we got Raising Kanan, which we already seeing more about his backstory. We get to see Rock, we get to see all that. So we don't even need to worry about anything else on his part. And then Power Origins, we're gonna get Ghost and Tommy, and we're gonna get more about them. So that's completely fine. But it's just like the main, like the villains, like the people, like the antagonists, like they bring in, and it's like, man, like I wish we could have learned like a little bit more on, except for like characters like the Serbs, like maybe like Milan, Jason, and Mercury. Except for them, because we sort of like know what they're about, right? Except for them, maybe Lobos. No, not Lobos. Not Lobos. Maybe Lobos. I don't know. But it's just like these characters that you would remember, and again, like you will expect more from. But I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna probably do here with like Zion's character. But we know for sure Noma had like 2 seasons, and I don't know. I just don't get that from her. Like, oh man, like she's gonna do something. Like, oh god, like and she's not. I would say Monet is much more of a threat than Noma. I would say that. I would say she's much more of a threat to her because I mean, Monet was killing cops. She's killing people's baby daddies. Like she would be considered much more of a threat. I would say at the least. I would say at the least compared to like Noma, which is funny because she has a private military and she can basically get people killed at any whim, but Even with all of that power and all of that force, she's sleeping around with a person who could potentially kill her and end all of it. So would that even be considered a threat? Ghost wasn't having any of this. He wasn't out here sleep. Well, I wouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But I don't know. But again, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about, like, because I know this is gonna piss off a lot of people about, like, okay, they bring in, like, once when Power Origin starts up, and then they bring like a character that's like really interesting. It's like, oh, okay, like we like the character, we like this and that. Oh, boom, he's dead. That's it. And like, what? He didn't, like, I don't know, move on to like different things, and then maybe we might see a character like reappear later on and be like, oh shit, he actually came back, he's not dead, or he's not in prison or whatever. I don't know, something to like change it up a little bit for them to like make like a surprise comeback or whatever, and be like, okay, or surprise return, I should say. And then I don't know, like, to catch us off guard here and be like, okay, so there's like a third option rather than just being like dead and in prison. Now, lastly, with the whole return of Ghost, and if Ghost returns or not or whatever, that's gonna be another thing that's like up in the air of what's gonna happen. Because look at what they did with Dexter. Dexter is like a perfect prime example on how they sort of fucked up. They could have had it correctly, and at certain points of if they was trying to kill Dexter, but then they messed up, and it's like, oh, he went in a hurricane, he faked his death. Then he was a lumberjack working, I guess, what was it? A lumberjack, I think, like working with like wood and shit, chopping down trees, and then he leaves and he goes upstate and he's doing stuff upstate, and then he dies, and then it's like, oh, but then we get Dexter Resurrection, and it's like, Dexter Resurrection? Huh? What? What the fuck? Like, I don't know. And with Power, I don't know. They have one opportunity to get this shit right with Ghost, and they have plenty of opportunities. Because again, with Unique, we thought he was dead. We thought once when Ronnie killed him, that was it, done. But then he comes back and like, oh, he's not dead. He's actually alive. So I was like, okay, that's a shock, because it kind of threw the fans off to a loop where it's like, wait a minute, we actually like this guy. You killing him off this soon, this quick? It kind of felt mute and weird. So it was like, okay, but again, we're gonna see what these guys and these people gonna actually give us and do, because they're trying to hype us up to be like, oh yeah, we got the trailer, and everybody's just like, son, you gave us the first trailer of Tariq and Truth, and you had us going right there. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get people to not think he's coming back, but then I don't know. But we'll see. But, you know, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, and like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you all in the next one.